Hey Terry, it's everybody's favorite day of the year.
That's it, huh?
Yeah, tax day, right?
That's right. Yeah.
You know they put it about as far away from the election as they can, right? They did that on purpose,
Yeah, I know. They don't want
so
it to affect
uh,
anything.
so that you don't remember come November who's taking your money and where they're wasting it on. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully we don't take your money because we're free, and you certainly aren't wasting your time when you're with us. We hope because we put a lot of stuff together that just can't find anywhere else, Terry. Our own proprietary information, our own proprietary picks. We do our own handicapping. We aren't sponsored by anybody, so we don't have any like ulterior motives or anything like that. We're just trying to find winners, and hopefully we can do that on Money Monday here on Horse Racing Today. You can follow me at HRT Rich on Twitter. Terry, I don't know if you have a Twitter handle or not, but do you?
I probably do, but I don't know what it is because I don't. I look at Twitter, but I don't know what my handle is at all. So I
Or
guess I
X?
should
It's
figure it
X
out.
now. It's the social media platform formerly known as X to take the Prince route.
Yeah.
Well, today, kind of a light day in racing, only 3 tracks. One of them here we're going to do today. Free track today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. That almost sounded bad. Is Will Rogers. Free track today, only 5 scratches. You can see here, you get the free pick. First one, Majestic Kraken. Number 6 horse, 5-2 morning line. Best bet, one of 3 on the day in that main and claiming opener. There it is. Did that take that long to show up, or did you put that up?
No, I just clicked it up.
Yeah, because I'm too dumb to remember how to do these things. It's Monday, right? I'm still kind of groggy. Had a real nice day yesterday. Terry, how was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was nice. Yeah, it was pretty good. So just did some things around the house here and took care of some things, and that was about it.
Yeah, we had a nice 70 plus degree day yesterday. That was nice. Went out and played a little bit of golf with the son and my son and a good friend of ours. And we had a real nice time up in Glencoe, Illinois. So
All right.
we're up in that area. Glencoe Golf Club, not a bad little course. Make your way around there in 90 strokes like I did. I should have been better. I probably left around 6 or 7 on the course. So I got to work to take those 6 or 7 out. All right, Terry, let's talk about trying to take out some losing picks and add some winning picks in the first race today at Parx.
All right. Well, it's a 7 furlong race, and it's a claiming race. $7,500 claiming price. Purse 21,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
And as we do around here, we identify what the profile of a winner looks like at 7 furlongs, Terry. That profile of a winner belongs to horses that have tactical speed about 15% of the time. One of the lowest rates at Parx. The horses go wire to wire. The rail, Neudorf, is going to get a fair trip. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 get discounted. 8 and out, man, they get absolutely slobber knockered. That's a word I don't know. I've heard it before. And then we also do 10,000 simulations, Terry. And we'll want to know who has the best chance to get to the lead. Speed does factor at Parx. And then based upon our speed projections, how likely that trip is to mirror the horse's best performances. That's our comfort zone or C zone. Also 10,000 simulations using speed figures to calculate which horses have the best chance of running a speed figure at par or better. In this case, that number is 80. So you see these horses here with a good shot to run a speed figure today at 80 or better. And then based upon those projections, we calculate our odds, Terry. We want to find horses with post-time odds that are higher than our simulated odds. What does the data tell you, my friend?
Well, it shows several of these horses has some kind of speed, but the 7 has the most. The 10 has a little an overlay from about 7 or 8 to 5 to 9 to 2, and the 11 has a small overlay from 2 to 1 to 5 to 2. 10, 11, and 9 show the only par plus numbers, and all but the 5, 9, 11 have some pretty decent C zones.
Yeah, we don't have a green goat horse in here, but one that may be close. And Chip's friend, the 10 horse in there. We'll see if that works out. Along with all of our simulations, we decide to do trip handicapping, plot out on the course where horses want to be. The 2, 8, and 12 want to be pilots. 3 and 4 co-pilots. The 7 and 10, well, they can really ride anywhere on the plane. 5, 6, 9, and 11, all closers that prefer to try to sneak from coach to first class. Early speed, if you're a pace handicapper, belongs to Freedom Start, a 5 horse. Ooh, that's what we call in the business, Terry, a left arrow horse, a closer with enough early speed to be forwardly placed today. Won't forget its closing ability. At the end of the race, backseat, our Andrew B. Those two have a little bit more late speed. Look, a little bit of a drop off here, Terry. And then our top total pace horses from our data collection, we find that over 72% of the time, the winner will come from this group of horses right here. So the 9, the 5, the 7, and 11, deep field, wide open race to get started. And somehow we have the first horse the same.
That's right. I like that number 11, Golden Wildcat. Drops in class today, likes the distance, finishing the money in 85% of his starts and won 14% of those races. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Number 9, Back East, my second choice, has won 2 races out of his last 4 starts, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey and those combination has won 3 out of 6 starts in the last 7 days. And then number 10, Chip's Friend. He finished third versus similar in his last race. Has the highest last race speed rating, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. He's my third choice. My long shot is the 6, Smarten Up. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Now, what we do is we have in every race we bet $2 to win on the first choice. We have a $1 exacta box with the first 2 choices, and then a 50-cent trifecta box with the first 3 choices, and a 10-cent superfecta box with the first 4 choices.
Yeah, and last week we had a couple. We had $400 at least, just $250 in one and $150 in another of the 10-cent superfecta box. So that pays for like a month worth of them. Scotty Z opening up the day at Parx in the week with a daily double with the 10-11 with the 7-9. Thank you, Scotty. If you have some ideas on picks that you like today at Parx or Will Rogers or Turf Paradise, the 3 tracks that are running, please put them in the comment section. We appreciate and enjoy the interactivity, and it also helps us with the Google and YouTube algorithmic rankings. Good morning to Don Johnson. How are you today? Good morning to Onur. Good to see you. Good morning to Hakan. How are you? Umet, good to see you as usual. Like to see that. And then Amin One. How do you do today? As for me, Terry, in the opener at Parx, as I mentioned, we both somehow ended up with the 11 in an open race. Golden Wildcat is your biggest class dropper in the field. Ran at the distance 7 times, finishing in the money 6 of them. Number 10, Chip's Friend. Small cutback in distance helps after running about a second faster in its fractions last out. Nice little overlay there, too. Top par plus horse. Kabad, a little bit of a big price there, Terry. Look at that guy. 20 to 1 to 99 to 1. That's my favorite kind. But last time out was the first time off the break after a little bit of time on the sidelines. Did show some early speed and then fade. Expecting some better horse racing from that one in the second up. Certainly has some of the most back class. And today, going to carry 10 pounds less than the next closest. Well, 10 pounds less than the what's required. So that's 2 lengths, Terry. And then finally, number 9, Back East. This one's fairly priced according to our odds. One of the other par plus horses in here is not my favorite, as you know, Terry. Coming in from Penn. Otherwise, might have gotten a little bit higher ranking for me. Very consistent performer. And there drops in class and has a maintenance workout between races. And then we move off to, let's see what we got here from Umet. Watch the 6. Smarten Up. Terry's long shot. Umet's watch this one. Race
All
number
right.
2. What are our conditions, Terry?
It's a 6 furlong. It's a maiden claiming, $25,000 claiming price, a $26,000 purse for maidens, 3-year-olds and upward.
And at 6 furlongs, you're looking for horses that have tactical speed, but a bunch, 35% have front end speed that carries them straight to the winner's circle, wire to wire. Pretty big rail bonus for Crack the Code. So maybe Crack the Code can run better than 10 to 1 just on that post position bias. 2-3 play fair. 4 through 7 discounted. 8 and out rebounds a little bit, almost back to fair, Terry. So speed does matter here with 3 out of 5, a little more than 3 out of 5 going wire to wire. Who's got the best shot of doing that?
Well, the 9 should get there first because it shows lots of speed compared to the other couple of horses that have it. And then the 1 has a nice overlay from just about 3 to 1 to 10 to 1. The 7 has an overlay from about 3 to 5 to 5 to 2. And then the 7 also shows the only par plus number. And then all but the 4 has some kind of a C zone.
Yeah, this number here can be dangerous. A horse that wants to be on the lead and has a strong C zone. We've seen those horses get the lead and then just take it all the way to the winner's circle. In race 2, looking at our pace setup, well, the 11 so far has not been within 5 lengths of the leader. So maybe you can shorten the field up a bit by closing that one off, your picks. This looks like those ice cream cones. Remember, like those ice things that are red, that are like that light blue, white, and red, Terry? I forget what they're called. Yeah. It's kind of what it reminded me of right away. But most of this race of the horses that have finished want to be middle forward. So be fastest of the fast in here, Terry. That's probably what you want if you're looking for speed. And that Burn the Evidence horse is a little bit more than 2 lengths quicker than anybody else. And most of that other speed, aside from the 7 and the 2, are to its outside. So if it can get a good break, can't get to the lead perhaps without overly working. On the way home, Crack the Code, the E-horse, the most late speed by a length over everybody else. So if the one breaks sharp with those late legs, could be tough to run down in the end. And then as our top total pace horses, we have 3 of them, Terry, that are well above the rest. The 7, the 10, and the 1. I would guess that maybe the winner is going to be in that group, Terry. You have 3 out of them, so do I.
Yeah, I like 7 Dream Within a Dream. He finished 3rd versus Sumner in his last race as a favorite, but he has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 30% of the races when bringing a beaten favorite back again. Has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Number 10 is my second choice, our Ethan Charles. He ran 2nd in his last race. Has a trainer who wins 20% of the maiden claiming races. He has a horse competing in. Humble Joy, the 6th. Joe, is my third choice. He has a trainer who wins 20% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse. He has a high percentage winning jockey. And my long shot is the 1 horse Crack the Code. He finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race. Drops in class today. The rail post is winning 21% clip, and he can improve while returning to a sprint. Normal bets in here, but I'm going to play Don Johnson pick 4. We're going to use the 6, 7, 10 with the 3, with the 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, with the 2, 6, 11, with the 7, 11. That's a $45 ticket.
We have to call them the Miami Vice pick 4s. Don
Yeah,
Johnson,
we should, yeah.
Miami Vice. Yeah, it's the
Okay,
MVP 4. Something along those lines. It's Don Johnson is the biggest celebrity that we know of that watches the show. So thank you, Don. Yeah. We appreciate that. A little bit of a Miami Vice endorsement would be beautiful with that like light green pastel suit on with a nice white shirt down there by the ocean and Miami arms crossed with the Ferrari in the background with the I watch horse racing today, like little thought cloud would be beautiful. I like the 7 horse too here, Terry, the Inception horse, Dream Within a Dream. Very good movie if you haven't seen it. I liked it. Looking at that horse, Terry, it is the biggest class dropper in the field. Well, a class dropper, not the biggest. Hit par in its last race at Parx, 3 times out, 2 seconds in the third. So I've been knocking on that maiden claiming graduation door. Number 9, Burn the Evidence. It only works for politicians, folks, not for us. Mm-hmm. But this one is the lone maiden special weight dropper. The only time that this horse ran in the maiden claiming, it was maiden claiming 40, so at a higher level than this. Actually won by like 7 lengths, but got DQ'd, so he must have cut the rest of the field off. And he has too much early speed. I think that class drop with all that speed could be a big difference maker. 10, our Ethan Charles, third choice for me. Our good friend Chris Parmalu of Horse Racing X on Twitter. He says that this is his favorite handicapping angle of all. Horse that finished 2nd in a maiden race last time out, coming back out because he only has to beat 1 horse today. But that was at Penn, and I'm not a Penn shipper fan, Terry. Number 1, Crack the Code, does get the ride. That strong rail is an overlay, Terry, is a tie for our top C-zone horse. And if it can run back to its February 26th race, could do more than enough to win here at a price. My pick 4, I'm going to go with the 7. That looks like with the strong par plus, the obvious favorite, going to be the favorite in here. And then I'm going to go with that 9 horse, that maiden special weight dropper, who's already won at a level above this with all of that speed at a distance where 35% of the horses go wire to wire. What do we got here? Merci beaucoup. Oh, we got a French speaker, Terry. Do you remember many people coming in from France?
No, not too many. A couple of times.
If that's where you're coming from. Rugali, are you coming in from France? It'd be nice to know. And then it looks like Umet is in agreement with you, Terry, on the 7 and the 10. You two thinking alike today.
Yeah.
Maybe more people ought to think like Lori Muldrow, who's giving us a thumbs up on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, kindly help us with a thumbs up. Tell your friends about us on Facebook. All of our social sites are down there. Horse Race, the number 2 day. Of course, any interaction, thumbs up while you're on YouTube. If you're there, if you haven't done so, I think we're only like 30 people away from 5,000. So make sure if you haven't done so yet, you subscribe so you can get us to that 5,000 mark. We would greatly appreciate that. Terry, how long do we have to the first race here?
About 5 minutes.
So plenty of time to do race number 3, and then we'll talk about the ongoings in the opener. What are the goings here, Terry?
Well, we're stretching out to 1 mile and 70 yards. It's a claiming race of $12,500 claiming price with a purse of $23,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races.
And here, Terry, at 1 mile and 70 yards, I think it is the most common distance today that they're running. So keep an eye on this one. Early speed does dominate 41%. It's dominant enough to go gate to wire. It's a pretty big rail discount for Wilkinson Warrior. Maybe not a big one, but enough to maybe discount that horse a bit. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 discounted. 8 and out get a bonus again. So a little bit of a accordion type post position biases. So some speed, Terry, on the inside or the outside would be useful. One of the outside horses looks like the fastest of them all.
Yeah, that 7 horse has the most speed, but there's a couple on the inside that show some speed too. And then that 3 shows an overlay from from about 4 to
3 to 5.
Yeah, to 3 to 1, and then the 3, 5, 8, and 2 are the only ones with decent par numbers, and then the 7 all have good C zones.
So just a quick rewind on the 50% chance. Thistle here runs a speed figure of 82 or higher. That is, according to Brisnet, the average speed figure for the winner at the 1 mile and 70 yards under these conditions. So a good shot for that one to do that. In our C zone, again, based upon our early projection, how likely they are to get a race that matches their best performances. As far as our trip handicapping, their best performances are concerned. The 1, Wilkinson Warrior, wants to be on the lead pilot. 7 can co-pilot or lead. So let's see who will actually take charge early on. Does look like Lloyd is the fastest of the bunch. We did see that in our simulations as well. So probably good chance. 7 is your pace setter. At the end, the tone setter down the stretch will be Thistle. That one's about a length and a half faster than everybody else. It's a PC type 2, so it has some versatility. So if they go too slow early on, can press forward. If they go too fast, can afford to be patient. Our top total pace horse in here, Terry, at least is the way they rank out. You have 4 of them, the 3, the 8, the 7, and the 5, a little bit better than the 2. Some drop off from there. So most likely your winner going to come from that top half. Terry, what do you think?
I like the 5, Cole's Conundrum. He drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 8th, second choice, Secret Alliance, ran second versus similar in his last race. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance and his best dirt speed, his fastest among today's starters. The 3, Thistle, is my 3rd choice. He finished second versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. 7, Lloyd, is my long shot, finished in the money in his last 3 races, winning 2 of those starts, and he can improve while returning to a route. Just the normal bets that we have in this race, no additional bets.
So here we have Umet, race 3, 8534. Thank you. And Amina is there. Race 3, 5 to win with the 4 and the 3 mixed in as well. And then when we have today, Larry Dansky. I'm betting the 7 in race number 7 at Parx, race 1. Our Andrew B was moved up to allowance after win 3 back. Now second race off of that for an old school trainer. Thank you, Larry, for that insight. We appreciate it. I like the 3 horse in the race 3, Terry. Thistle is my pick. Class dropper to the lowest level of its career. When I go back at the end of the day and edit, copy, paste the race notes for the winners, lowest race of the career in class dropper shows up a lot. This one's getting a weight break and has a workout to keep the saw sharp between races. Number 8, Secret Alliance, second selection for me. Just missed at this level in the last 2 races. That's another race note that I see over and over and over. And also has the most back class in the field. Your top pick, Cole's Conundrum. The biggest class dropper in the field here, Terry, off since late February. 2 pretty solid workouts prepping for this day. And then finally, who doesn't like Milano cookies? Those are my favorite, one of my favorites anyway. It's another one that's taking a pretty big class drop here, probably the most consistent performer in the field. Last time out, showed improvement through the first half mile. Again, Craig Mikowski from Timeform US said when they reviewed their data, that early improvement through the first half mile was a big indicator of a horse that could be sitting on a nice race the next time out. Just our typical win bet on our top picks, exacta bet with our top 2, trifecta bet with our top 3, and superfecta bet with our top 4. Race number 1, Terry, looks like they're not all that far from getting started, right?
That's right. They're entering the starting gate right now.
Yes, indeed. So Jessica Paquette about to tell us what's going on in that race in just a second. Looks like they got that front screen on, so in all likelihood, they're about to get cracking. Right now, it looks like the favorite in the race, number 1, is the 11 horse at 5-2. We got our Andrew B, the long shot there, brought to our attention. Looks like the horse of value in here, Terry? Doesn't really look like maybe the 10 horse is the horse of value because that one's about to go off at 4-1. According to our odds, it should be closer to 9-5. So many times those horses do well. All right, they're off and running, and the one that is on the lead is the 12 horse in there, Jerry. Kabod, the long shot, although the 10 horse, the one that we said offered some value, has moved up along in second. Those two continue to set the tone early on. Behind them, now you have looks like the 4 horse. I don't know, it's kind of tough to tell on my screen. I got a big mute button in there. So right now it looks like you got the 12, 10, and 11. Those 3 horses are up on the lead. If speed holds up today, those 3 should do all right. 12 horses backing out of the race now. It looks like you may have, I don't know, kind of running a little funny. So I don't think he's going to be there in the end. This horse race looks like it's between the 11 and the 10, Terry, right now. The 11 and the 10 hustling on the outside. The 12 horses regained his stride. So maybe he just felt like they're going too fast. I don't know, because the other horses really aren't closing on that one. Down the stretch they come, Terry. Right, it's a duel between the 10 and the 11. The 12 horses found his legs here, Terry. Maybe he's going to get into the race here at the end at a price. The 11 looks like right now it's going to be your winner. The 10 horse is going to be, I don't know, that 5 horse in there. It's coming like a crazy man right now, Terry. Is he going to get the 11? He's not. It's going to go 11, 5, 10, 12. 11, 5, 10, and 12. Freedom Start coming from off the pace to make a pretty aggressive run in the end there, Terry. But the 11 horse, the one we both thought would be the winner, is the winner, and it's actually a winner at a decent price, 3-1. That's an $8 horse, right? It's unfortunate that we couldn't catch the exacta or the trifecta. Yeah, 5 has got to get out of that mix because I had the other 2 in there.
That's right. Well, Melvin starts off with his pick 5, having the 11. He liked the 11 and the 6. And he's going to go with the 7-4-10, then the 3 single, then 11-6, and then 7-11 at the end.
Mm-hmm. Well, after a good start, if you like what you saw in that opener, folks, if you're watching on Twitter, please hit the retweet button. That helps us out a lot. And if you haven't done so, too, follow us on Twitter. Horse Race, the number 2 day. Follow me. I'm stuck at like 165. Elon must not like me because I can't get any followers. Anyway, let's move on to race number 4, Terry. That's next on our itinerary for this 11 race card to open up the week at Parx. They're going to do a little sprint action here.
That's right. We're going to cut back to 6 furlongs. It's a claiming race, $7,500 claiming price, $20,000 purse for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since January 15th.
And if you want to win a race since January the 15th, it's 6 furlongs tactical speed. So you want to be forwardly placed in the front half. Get to the front 35% of the time. They do win wire to wire. Big time rail bonus for Taco Bean. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 discounted. 8 and out almost comes back to fair, Terry. So really no deal breakers. Maybe downgrade 4, 5, 6, and 7 a little bit, but not enough to just totally eliminate them from your picks. Early on, speed does factor again, Terry, particularly perhaps on the inside. The fastest of the bunch. Well, hold on a second. Looks like it is on the inside.
It is. Those 2 horses, the 1 and 2, have the most speed. And the outside horses, 7 and 8, or the mid-pack horses, they show some speed. The 3 shows an overlay of about 4 to 5 to 9 to 2. And then the 6, 3, 11, 2, and 1 show par plus numbers. All of them show some kind of a C-zone.
Yeah, they all could get races in here that feel comfortable. Kind of almost gringo horse here, and just in spite of it. I got a green across the board. Almost Ava K's boy, too, if it was a little bit more of a leader, but should be in that stalking position that does pretty well here. As far as trips are concerned, it's kind of balanced. So these middle horses, though, they have a lot of versatility. They're not lead dependent. They can kind of move around the track a little bit. So you got 3 up here that might be lead dependent, 2 that want to close. Of the early speed, the 1, the 7, and 11, it does look like Dixie's Cannonball and Taco Bean will be right there. The EP type, just in spite of it, will be in the mix as well. These 4 are a little bit quicker than everybody else. The 6 should be in that tactical spot that wins a lot. Late speed belongs to Super Flyover, the PC horse, along with Strawberry Cone. There you see that 6 horse popping up in there again. Ava K's boy. So according to this, it looks like Ava K's boy should sit around second or third to try to hold off some closers. Does have a 6-point total pace advantage, so about a little bit more than a length better from a total pace advantage than everybody else, Terry. Perhaps that's why both of us slotted it at the top of our picks.
Yeah, I like 6, Avis K's boy. He finished in the money in 8 out of the last 10 races. Won 3 of those starts, has a high percentage winning jockey. And then the 2, just in spite of it, is my second choice. Ran second versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Swift Tap, the 11, is my third choice. Drops in class today. His early speed running style will help his chances, and he can improve at the shorter distance. Super Flyover, the 3, my long shot, has won 2 races out of the last 3 starts. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. He has a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play a pick 4. I'm going to play the 2, 3, 6, 11 with the 4, 7, 11 with the 4, 5 with the 5, 6, 7, 8. $48 ticket.
So you're saying it's today the last day at Mahoning? I think Mahoning is finished. Yeah, they're not running right now. They might come. I don't know what's the. There's another track there in Ohio. I think I forget the name of it. Was it Balua Park or something like that, or they changed the name of that one? I forget. So the bet of the day for Umet right here, the 11 Swift Tap in race number 4. Big field in here. Terry and I both sitting on the 6 horse. I like the 6 Ava's K-Boy. Best current form in the race. I don't think there's much question about that. Perhaps the question is that the horse is moving up in class, but 2 races ago did run at this level, did win, and all of the race internals last time out were better than the race before. So just a real quick recap on that. So when I'm handicapping and I see like Ava K's boy here, you have an 89, 97, 90 as its pace figures, and then in the prior start before that, 80, 88, 90, 93. So all across the pace, that horse got better. Also, if you look at the early speed in here too, you see the fractions, despite going a little bit longer, were actually a little bit better because it was closer here and then it was farther off. So better fractions, better pace numbers, the horse is in shape. Number 2, just in spite of it, second choice, because Terry plagiarizing me here in race number 4. At this level, second out. I like to see that. Had to lead in the stretch by a lot and then really kind of cut back a lot. So cutting back in distance today could help it hold that lead at the end today in the second start after a layoff. And is that kind of light gringo horse. Number 11, Swift Tap, Umet's bet of the day. Terry and I both slotted at third. This is a class dropper, a track dropper with a pair of decent workouts between races. Then finally, Super Flyover. That's that big par plus horse with the overlay there, Terry. All 3 of his last races were probably good enough to win here, up in class last time out, despite a little bit of race regression. So maybe the trainer saw something in between to warrant a class hike. Off to race number 5 we go, almost the middle of the card, Terry. Again, I mentioned this will be the most common distance, so pay attention to how the horses run at 1 mile and 70 yards.
Yeah, it's a claiming rate, $7,500 claiming price. Purse $21,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won 4 races. And I guess there's an objection at the
first one. Yeah. To which horse?
I don't know. It's
No, it's final. It went 11, 5, 10, 12.
okay. All right. And Mahoney Valley is not running, but Will Roger Downs is.
Along with Turf Paradise. Yep.
Yeah.
Those are your 3 tracks today. Tomorrow, we get a couple. Horseshoe Indianapolis opens back up tomorrow. And there's another track that's going to start up for the summer as well tomorrow. Let's see who that is. And of course, we'll have all those picks and more over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Again, today's free track is Will Rogers. You can catch that in the description down below. Oh, yeah, FanDuel opens up again tomorrow. So that's a pretty good, that's I like that track. FanDuel. You got some good sprinters down there, some Chicago. Because they closed Arlington, a lot of the old Chicago horses end up down there, unfortunately. So we're off to race number 5. Terry, right? We talk about the distance and surface so far. So the profile of a winner at 1 mile and 70 yards, as we mentioned, does favor early speed with 4 out of 10 winning from the front, rail discount. So winning on the weekends, be thankful it's Monday. Not really. The weekend was nice. 2 and 3 get a little bit of bonus. 4 through 7 a discount. 8 and out get a bonus as well. So, Terry, it looks like we want some speed, perhaps favoring to the outside.
Well, it shows here that the 7 shows the most speed in here. Sensible Jim. But the 9, 2, and 12 also shows some speed. Also, the 2 has an overlay of about 3 to 1 to 12 to 1, and the 7 has a very small overlay, 5 to 2 to 7 to 2. 7, 2, 3, and 11 show par plus numbers, and 7, 5, 9, 12, and 2 show the C-zone numbers.
Yeah, here we have the green go for sure. Sensible Jim. Overlay, strongest par plus in the group. Good chance to be on the front and has the top C-zone. We've seen gringos go straight to the winner's circle many, many, many times. In our race shape, Terry, let's see where the 7 and all these horses break out. The 7 and 2 want to be in the front of a field that prefers to be middle back. 4 and 6 so far, they haven't sniffed the winner's circle, not within 5 lengths of the winner in their last few races. As far as your early speed is concerned, the 6 horse in here, one of those NC types could play a spoiler role. 7 Sensible Jim might not get that lead. Could be a little bit of a detriment to that horse's chances today. 3, Dr. Doom is your longest horse at the back end with the most late legs, along with Dream of Blessings, about length quicker than Warrior's Vendetta. As far as our top total pace horse is concerned, Sensible Jim does get the nod. Probably the best, not the best at anything, but probably the best at everything. You have 7, 6, 3, and 9 as your top 4 horses, but pretty wide open race here, Terry, because down to here, half the field, a little more than half, all within 7 points of each other. So you get a wide trip, a tough start, a bump. Could be the difference between being first or being 6th. And again, we both land on the same 2 horses at the top.
Yeah, I like in this race Sensible Jim. The 7 horse drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The 11, Dad's on a Roll, is my second choice. He ran second versus similar in his last race, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Forever Wicked, the 4 is the third choice. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey and drops in class today. Sailor's Return, the 12 is my long shot, has a high percentage winning trainer, and his early speed running style will help his chances. No additional bets in here for me other than the normal ones that we have.
So in the opening race, to answer your question, Raju, the 11 horse won. Terry and I both had that one on top. The 5 horse upset the exactas and trifectas. Freedom Start finished second. The 10 horse, Chip's Friend, third. Kabod, the long shot, finished 4th. So if you did have the 11-5 exacta, paid $31. If you had the 11-5-10 trifecta, paid $47.95 for 50 cents. That ain't bad. If you tossed the 12 on the back end of the superfecta for a dime, woo, Terry, $316.81. Wow.
Nice.
Sure wish I had that 5 in the mix there.
Yeah.
I like the 7 horse to top my picks too, along with the 11, 7-11. That they never close. Sensible Jim won't close. Class dropper in here, Terry, as well as Back to a Level, where just a couple of races ago he almost won, and he is that gringo horse. Dad's on a roll. Terry, we should always be on a roll. This horse ran second at this level last out. Small drop in class here. Highly consistent performer. Number 2, Midnight Cat. A little bit of a long shot in here, but not according to our simulated odds. That horse should be really closer to 3-1. Pretty strong par plus in there as well. Terry gets a drop in class 2 and 10-pound weight break. That's a 2-length advantage over the rest of the field. And then finally, number 4, Wicked Forever. It was a tough call for me over the 10, Warriors Vendetta, but this is a track dropper and a class dropper. Usually that combination does pretty well in Philadelphia. And we like, I like Philly. My sister lives there, a nice town, but they do have to clean up the trash around the town a bit. It's some places it's out of hand. Umet likes the 12, the 8, and 11, and the 2 for a ice cold, Terry, superfecta. That takes some guts. The middle race on this card today is the 6th race, Terry, and they're going to do something a little bit different for the first time today.
Yeah, they're going to go 6.5 furlongs, and it's an optional claiming race, $25,000 claiming price. If you elect to put your horse in there to possibly be claimed, first 26,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have started for 16,000 or less, and which have not won 3 races, or claiming price of 25,000, or which have never won 3 races.
Terry, how much do you let the optional claiming horses that are in for a price or not in for a price influence your handicapping?
You know, I really don't let it influence me much, except for if I think somebody's trying to get rid of a horse. But
unless you're trying to sneak it out. Yeah. Or if it were in for a price, it would be right here.
Yeah.
Let's see who's in for a price here. Is anybody in for a price? Yeah, you can see the 4 horse. Sunset Town in for a price at 25,000 for trainer Jamie Ness. Maybe a little suspicious on that one, Terry. Yeah. 6.5 furlongs. What's not suspicious is that stalkers do well. They front half, they perform exceptionally well. The front runner wins 25% of the time. Pretty strong rail bias for counter fit currency. Number 2 through 7 play fair, 8 and out, you get a discount, Terry. So if you can get a horse on the rail that has a lot of early speed, you probably got a pretty good chance to win this race, Terry. But it does look like the horse in the dead center is the one at some point they'll all have to pass, although everybody with the 6 has some chance to take the lead.
That's right. That 4 shows the most speed, with the 3 and the 2 having the second best speeds. The 4 has an overlay from about 7 to 5 to 2 to 1. The 5 has an overlay from about 4 to 5 to 4 to 1. The 5 and the 4 have the only par plus numbers, and all but the 4, all of them have C zones, but the 4 is pretty darn low.
Mm-hmm. Our pace handicapping for race number 6. Wow, you have 5 of the 7 horses want to be middle forward, Terry. A couple of Sesame Street horses with the 7 and the 4, unlike any of the others. 7 being the most versatile horse in the race. Ferrari Kid, as far as our early tempo is concerned, you could see it pretty competitive. Only 6 points separating the top from the bottom. So really anybody, if they get on the gas when the gates open, can have the lead here. Could make for a contentious early pace. If that's the case, Sunset Town not only does it have the most early speed, has the most late speed. Could be difficult to pass that horse. Again, though, really only a few points separating top to bottom. And then as far as our top total pace horse, 4 points clear for Sunset Town. You do have 5 of the 7 horses, Terry, within 7 points. Kind of a drop-off between the 3 and the 2 there. So maybe you can take those 2 horses out, shorten up your picks, and pick from that group. We both ended up with the 4-5 on top.
That's right. Sunset Town is my top choice. Has won 2 races out of the last 3 starts. Has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. North Pole, the 5 is my second choice. He ran second versus similar in his last race. Should improve while returning to a sprint, and he has a high percentage winning jockey. Warriors Val, the 2. He likes Parx racing. He's been in the money 50% of the time racing here, and he won 33% of those starts. He likes the distance, been in the money 100% of the time, won 50% of the starts. My long shot is 6, Caddy's Uncle. He won his last race at Parx Racing and switches a high percentage winning jockey. I'm going to play a Miami Vice pick 4. I'm going to use the 2, 4, 5, 6 with the 5, 6, 7, 8, with the 5, 7, with the 2, 6, 8, $48 ticket.
I'm going to start with the 4, like you, Terry, though I am a little bit concerned because the horse did regress a little bit in its last race, but since then has a bullet workout in the classic 3rd start after a layoff. But I'm a little bit suspicious of Jamie Ness putting this one in for a price. If not, the 5-horse North Pole should clean up from that in case that suspicion proves to be true. It is a left arrow horse, Terry, one of those closers that has enough early speed to be a part of the early pace. Won't forget how to close out a race. Going to cut back in distance today, which will be helpful, especially with all that early speed as our simulation favorite. Number 3, Kenner. All of the race internals were better across the board last time out, Terry. It's a maintenance workout between races, and then a small cutback in distance again should be beneficial. And then finally, Ferrari Kid is one of those horses in this race that's the most versatile. Third start after a layoff. All of the race internals improved last time out. But this is an all or nothing horse, Terry. 5 times out, 2 wins. So either put him first or put him out of the money. I didn't think he would win this race, so I put him out of the money, but you never know with that versatility, what he can bring to the table. Pick 4, starting with just 2 horses, the 4 and 5, according to our simulations, and the Par Plus. There are your 2 standouts. Then I'm going to go 4 by 4 by 3 on the back end. So like Terry, maximizing our $50 budget and spending $48. Lucky race number 7, Terry, but 13's your lucky number. What are they going to do here?
Well, it's going to be shortened up to 5.5 furlongs, and it's a maiden claiming race, $25,000 claiming price, $28,000 purse for maidens 3-year-olds.
And at 5.5 furlongs, Terry, you better have a lot of giddy up and go when the gates open. 56%. That's a big number, Terry. Get the lead and never relinquish it. There is a clear advantage to being on the outside. In fact, the rail, Cray Nadun, the rail horse has not won yet at 5.5 furlongs. 2 and 3 have really been struggled. They've been whack-a-mold like that game. 4 through 7, they play close to fair, a little bit above fair. And then 8 and out, just a huge bonus, Terry. So if you're a Buffalo girl on the outside in race number 7 with a lot of speed, you got a good chance, but that speed might be stuck in the middle, Terry.
That's right. That 7 shows lots of speed. Should get there to that quarter pole first. The 5 has a small overlay of about, oh, no, the small doesn't have an overlay.
No, there's no overlays in here. I think they're all
I'm looking at the wrong race. There's no overlays at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 7, as I said, has all the speed. There's none that has a Par Plus number, and all of them show some kind of a CISO.
Yeah, all those overlay horses scratched out, and they also were a part of the big Par Plus. So some of the other ones in here are thankful that those 2 didn't get in. In race number 7, our trip handicapping. Well, look at this. All these horses, Terry, so far haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader. 5, 8, and 9, those 3 making their first start. The only horse that shows is Wannabe Forward. It's the 6 that finished within 5 lengths of the win. As far as your early speed, who knows is a lot quicker than everybody else. Irish Deviant. That one's got some speed. Brassi's got some speed. Why Stop There's got some speed, but really none of them have the wheels of who knows. Those wheels better hang on, though, Terry, because that late pace really dropped off. Why Stop There has some late speed, but really not what I would call class late speed. 10, Why Stop There is our top total pace horse, 4 points clear of the next closest horse, so should get rid of that not within 5 lengths of the winner at the finish line, Terry. Just looking at this, pull some numbers out of a hat, and you might do all right. What numbers did you pull out of which hat?
I like Who Knows. The 7 drops in class today, has an early put, so this shorter distance can be a big plus. Brassi, the 6, my second choice, switches to high percentage winning trainer who wins 40% of the maiden claiming races he has a horse competing in, and he has the high percentage winning jockey Paco Lopez. Number 5, JR Zone Z is my third choice. Is a first-time starter whose breeding suits today's distance, and he has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer and a nice bullet workout on April 8th. And then Star Lowered is my long shot, the 8. He is a first-time starter whose dam has 2 winners from 3 starters. His breeding suits today's sprint distance. He has a high percentage winning jockey who in the last 7 days have been in the money 7 out of 8 starts with 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So that's 6 out of 8. So anyway, no additional bets in this race for me.
Yes, Rocco, Antonio, do they pass the race or do they just talk? Well, we can't put the race up on the screen. That would not be legal GRTV is a place you can watch it. If you're south of the American border, you can watch TVG or Twin Spires or Naira or Keeneland Bets, whatever it is, Naira, whatever it is that you use for your internal stuff. So when race number 2 comes, we'll pass along what's happening. We'll continue talking to get that information out to you there, though. I hope. How are you today? Oh, Umet. So I don't know why that should look like hope to me. Race 7, you like the 9 horse. I never say never. That's a pretty good attitude to carry through life. I think the 7 horse, who knows, Terry, at a distance where 56% of the time the horse that gets the lead wins, this one's going to be on the lead. It is your lone maiden special weight dropper. It's the biggest drop in all of horse racing. Number 6, Brasi, Paco Lopez, Terry riding. He's 0 for 6 so far at Parx. So I'm going to put a little bit of a gambler's fallacy into play here that he's due. Had some speed last time out, faded. Well bet in that race. Second start after a layoff. Second career start. Some improvement coming for that guy that should be forward. Fire Army, the 4 horse, is my third choice. This one is a class dropper. It'll be now or never for trainer Alfredo Velasquez. 7 times he's had horses make their second career start in 2024, and 3 of them found the winner's circle. This was also one that the bettors liked in its debut. And then I'm going to go with the 5 horse, the first timer. Really good workouts in here. The trainer wins 14% on debut, and then solid breeding. So the 3 things that you're looking for with a first-time starter: good works, good breeding, good trainer stats, checks off all of those boxes. Terry, do we keep talking, or is race number 2 about the
we have plenty of time.
All right, let's go on to how come that says hope there? And then does Umet mean hope? That must be translated to hope, Terry. Now I know why it says hope. All right, race number 8, Terry. What are our conditions?
We're going to go back to 1 mile and 70 yards, a claiming $15,000 claiming per race with purse $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have not won a race since January 15th. Claiming races for $12,005 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
Yes, and to make that 4th win, speed usually gets the job done 41% of the time. Wire-to-wire winners, there's a rail discount. That's not Vines yet, but the horse kind of assumes that role will be Fickles, something like that. 2 and 3 get a little bit of a bonus. 4 through 7 a discount. 8 and out a bonus too. So fast in the middle, Terry. Fast on the outside. Fast on the inside. Just not fast in the middle. Looks like most of your speed is middle out.
That's right. Although the 8 shows most of speed, but there's several of them, so you really don't know who's going to get there. And then the 5 has a small overlay from 7-1 to 8-1. The 12 has an overlay from 8-1 to 12-1, and then several of them have par plus numbers, as you can see, and then all but the 7 show some kind of a C zone.
Yeah, this one just numbers abound. So wide open race, it looks like in the race 8. You've got the 11 horse, wants to be forward. Bunch of versatile horses in here, so they can win from anywhere really on the track. The 5, the 7, and the 13 looking to close early on. If there is a wire-to-wire winner, maybe that'll be the 12 horse, Brindisi, along with a shot. So a little bit of, there's plenty of speed to that horse's inside. Might have to work a little too hard to get to the lead. If they all work too hard, Sophos will be coming the fastest at the end, though Brett's World will be right behind. Liberty Star right there. Again, on paper, this looks like a very competitive race. From our simulations, it looks like a competitive race. From our top total pace, looks like the 9, 12, 5, and 10 all have about a length advantage over the rest of the field. So maybe a little bit more clarity there, Terry. Which one did you select?
I like the 5 Sophos. He finished in the money in 8 out of the last 9 races, which means he's very consistent. And he's won one of those starts, has a high percentage winning trainer. Roan Mountain, the 7, drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer who in the last 14 days won 3 out of 5 starts. And he has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Mr. Einstein, the 13, likes Parx racing. He's been in the money 52% of the race of the races, and he's won 16% of those. And he's finished in the money in 54% of the races at today's distance. The 11, Brilliant Chase, is my long shot, finished 3rd versus similar as last race. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm going to play another Miami Vice, Don Johnson, pick 4, I'm going to use the 5, 7, 11, 13 with the 2, 3, 6, and 8. I'm going to single the 6 and finish up with the 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, and 10. That's a $48 ticket.
I have Sophos too. Nice little price there. Strong C zone horse. I mean, strong par plus horse, top of the ticket. Ran faster fractions, missed by a neck last time out to winning, finished third by a neck, but he was right in that mix there at the finish line to a horse that came back to win at a starter allowance level next time out. So moved up in class and won. So maybe a key race for Sophos last out. Speightster's Red, the 8 horse, second call for me, a neck away from winning at this level in its last race as well, making the classic third start after a layoff. Brilliant Chase, Terry, I like that one too in here. Jamie Ness, second off the claim, 32% winner on that angle. Going to drop in class and should improve in the second start after a layoff. And, you know, Jamie Ness wins just about everything at Parx. And then finally, the 12-horse Brindisi. This one has a good shot to be the pace setter where more than 40% go wire to wire in the money, 10 out of 12 at the distance. So clearly a mile and 70 yards, those routes work to its advantage, and going to get a 10-pound weight break today too. So a 2-length advantage over the rest of the field carrying the required weight. A lot of me messing up words today. Right now in race number 2, the 7-horse Dream Within a Dream is your 1-to-1 favorite. According to our odds, the horse should be about 1-to-2. So you get a little bit of value there still, twice the price that you should be getting according to our simulations. So when people talk about value, it doesn't necessarily just mean add 6 to your picks in this race here, Humble Joe. It doesn't necessarily mean you're getting great odds. It just means you're getting higher odds than you should. Also looking at the second race here, as we see, we have the next favorite is the 9-horse in there, Terry. The one with all that speed, Burn the Evidence on the, was that the maiden special weight drop for that one in there, Terry? I know that one's dropping in class, right? Yeah. The 9-horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lone maiden special weight dropper. The only time the horse did run at the maiden claim of 40,000. One got DQ'd. The 10-horse is your third pick, according to the current odds at 5-to-1. Then you have the 1 and the 4 at 8-to-1. The 2, the 6, and the 11 all clicking in above 10-to-1 odds. Looks like we're just waiting for a couple horses to find their way into the gates, and we should be ready to go with race number 2. We're waiting on the 6 and the 11, it looks like. They've panned out to the front of the start. You know, I was watching yesterday Oaklawn Park, Terry.
Yeah.
They got all those big purses, but apparently they can't afford any green paint because the starting gates were just all banged up. It looked like they found them in a what do they call it? Like a junkyard somewhere. All right. They're often running in this race, Terry, and the 9-horse has indeed gotten to the lead. Really doesn't look like he's running hard at all. So perhaps there can be some slowish fractions here. 7-horse is making sure that he doesn't get a clean trip. The 9-horse actually got bet down to 1-to-1 at the end there, Terry.
Wow. So
that's kind of an interesting late development. The 7-horse sitting in second place right there on the rail. We do have the 2-horse General Strike at a big price. Behind them, you have the 10-horse, Terry. And here comes that 10-horse. Going to make an aggressive run, get up in front of that 7 at 10-to-1. Terry's certainly hoping that one finds the winner circle in his pick 4, because that one's 10-to-1 versus 1-to-1 on the 9-horse. The jockey on the 9 looking back between his legs and really haven't asked his horse to go just yet, Terry. So I'm going to expect that this guy is going to take off at the end here and win by a few lengths, although the 10-horse is not giving up just yet. But that 9-horse right now pulling away, Terry. So this race looks like it's going to go 9, then the 10. Yeah, the 9-horse making easy work of this race. Burn the Evidence, Terry. 9, 10, 6, and 7. 9, 10, 6, and 7. So, of course, the 6 screws up my trifecta and superfecta. Should have put him in the 4 spot. Humble Joe. Should have listened to Umet and add the 6 to my picks.
You should have, yeah. But you do have the pick 4 started, so that's nice. And that was a good handicapping job on your part.
Well, I mean, you have to kind of look at the maiden special weight droppers. When you're going through maiden claiming races, just look for the maiden special weight droppers. They might look like garbage on paper, but There a lot of times when they go against the lowest level, especially horses that had 2, 3, 4 chances to win at lower levels, I mean, at least has a reason to win this race.
Yeah.
8 to 1 to 1 to 1, though. I'm not happy about that, Terry. I would have been much happier if that horse went off at, where was he, like 5 to 1 right before the gates opened. So some of that late syndicate money screwing it all up, Terry, but maybe not too bad on the pick fours because all that money did come in at the end.
Yeah, he went off at 2 to 1, right?
I think he went off at 1 to 1. He was 1 to 1 going around the track there.
Yeah, because
it's 1 to 1 on the screen.
All right.
Big money loading up on that 9 horse in that race right there.
Okay.
All right. What are we on? Race number 9? Speaking of 9s, 3 races to go. So beginning of the late pick 3, the again, 6.5 furlongs, Terry.
That's right. It's a claiming race, $25,000 claiming price, purse $32,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, which have not won a race since January 15th. Claiming races for $16,000 or less are not considered, or which have never won 4 races.
And at 6.5 furlongs, tactical speed is a pretty good way to go. It does get to the winner's circle pretty regularly. In fact, 25% of the time, if you're on the lead, you're going to win the race, Terry. As far as your post positions are concerned, pretty strong rail for Cajun Dream, but it's not in that race. So Giebert will take over that role right there. 2 through 7, play fair, 8 and out, get discounted, Terry. So if you got speed and you're on the rail, and Giebert, he doesn't have it. Got another one of those races, Terry, where everybody's going to have to pass one at one point to find the winner's circle.
Yeah, that's right. That 7 shows lots and lots of speed. And then the 2 has an overlay from 5 to 2 to 5 to 1. The 7 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 8 to 1, which is really nice. The 7 has the only par number in here, and all of them show some kind of a C-zone number, although the 8's a little bit low.
And on the come up, a little bit of a green go horse, top C-zone, top chance to get to the lead, only par plus horse, and an overlay. He's 8 to 1, Terry. If he wins, I hope he doesn't go off at 1 to 1 like the 9 just did.
Yeah.
That would be terrible. It is a lone E horse in there too, Terry, and everybody else wants to be middle back. So if on the come up can get to the front, everybody's looking for lone E's. That one's a length quicker than everybody else. So lone E potential perhaps in there. At the end of the race, Giebert will be coming the fastest, but could be well off the pace there, Terry. Maybe not enough late legs to make up the early difference in the race. Top total pace horse, 2 of them overly critical and on the come up, just a little bit better than Giebert. Big drop off to the last 3 horses in there. So maybe 6, 7, 2, nice 50-cent trifecta box, $1 exacta box for those 3 horses, Terry. You don't have the 7 in your picks, but you do think the 6 wins.
Yeah, that's right. Overly critical. Won 3 races out of the last 6 starts, drops in class today, and should improve at the shorter distance, has a high percentage winning jockey. The 8 Jova is my second choice. He won his last race at Parx Racing, and he has a high percentage winning trainer. Giebert, the 2 is my third pick. He's likes the distance. He's been in the money 43% of the time, and he's won 14%. 14% of the starts. He likes Parx Racing. I'm sorry. And then he likes the distance, been in the money 52% of the time with 22% of the starts winning. 3 Happy Farm is my long shot, has the highest speed favorite today's distance. His best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The high percentage winning jockey he has in the last 7 days been in the money 6 out of 8 times, 3 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. Has a good workout on April 5th.
The 2 and the 6 for Umed in here. Yes, indeed, Race Masters. Somebody knew for that horse to come from what was it, about 4 to 1, 7 to 2, something like that, right before the race started, down the 1 to 1 on that 9 horse.
Yeah.
I'd say they knew pretty well. I like the 7 horse in there, Terry, that lone E horse on the come up. I think it maybe has a little too much early speed for the rest of this field. On top of that, did run the top last race speed figure, 4 points clear of the next closest horse. Last time out, too, it's fractions. He finished the race up about 1.5 seconds quicker than the prior start. Overly critical, your top pick, Terry, my second choice in here. Class dropper, loves himself this distance, 7 times out, 3 wins, 3 seconds off the board, and the other one in there. Couple of workouts prepping for today. Not bad. Pretty solid workouts. Number 2, Giebert, the closer. Paco on the biggest class dropper in the field. If he can run back just a couple of races for Paco, that O could go in Philadelphia so far this year. I also like when the owner and the trainer are the same because they tend to spot their horses in fair places. And then finally, number 4, Violent Turbulence does have that top C zone score, and there should be a part of the early speed in there too. Moving up in class could be a little bit tougher work for this horse. Good chance to be better in the second start after a layoff, especially with the maintenance workout to improve late race fitness. 2 races to go. We're going to talk about the first leg of the late daily double. Terry, we go back to the most common distance of the day.
That's right. We're going back to 1 mile and 70 yards. It's an optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price. Purse, $30,000. It's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards, which have started for a claiming price of $8,000 or less. It's April 15th, 2022, or a claiming price of $16,000.
Again, $170 on the dirt course at Parx. Does favor speed more than 4 out of 10. Go gate to wire, Terry, in there. You have a rail discount. 2 through 7 a bonus, 4 through 7 a discount, 8 and out a bonus. So a little bit, like I said, of accordion in effect. Who's got all the early gas when the gates open for the first leg of the daily double?
Well, several of these showed speed. The 2, 5, 3, 4, and 7 show the most speed. And then the 3 has a par plus number, which is, and the 5, which is really, overlays. The 3 has a good overlay from 4 to 1. The 5 has a nice overlay from 7 to 5 to 10 to 1. And the 9 shows an overlay from about 2.5 to 1 to 4 to 1. The 5, 9, 3, and 6 have the par plus numbers. And all but the 8 show C zone.
Yeah, you got a lot of, just everybody with a good shot in this race. Looks competitive right here, according to our simulations, 10,000 of them. Terry, according to our trip handicapping, again, a bunch of horses with a bunch of versatility. The 7 horse, one that wants to be forward, Terry, doesn't need to lead. Got some versatility too. All these horses are versatile. They don't need to lead on the lead. They can pressure, they can close. Only the 8 and 9 seem to be trip dependent on the closing side. Looking at the early speed, the 6 horse, Flash and Dynamite, Black Ice, Bunny Bonus. A lot of options in here, Terry. Only 11 points separating all these horses in here. So I think they probably all come out of the gates kind of bunched up in there. One of them will decide to take the lead. Why is he so lucky? He'll be coming the strongest at the end, although it's going to be maybe a length and a half, 2 lengths, maybe more off the lead. Doesn't have more than a length late race advantage, but he is a part of the top total pace horses, actually ranking first. Going to have to weave his way through traffic a little bit. A bunch of horses in here within 4 points of each other. So a wide trip, weave your way through traffic, get bumped. Tough start could be the difference between finishing first or maybe finishing as low down the totem pole as 6th. Pretty open racing here, Terry. You think the 6 horse Flash and Dynamite is the one to focus on?
Yeah, and it's my pick of the day. I know it's wide open, but I'd like to see that we get a little bit of a price horse on my pick of the day.
So are you going to make a bet here for this one? Because I don't see a bet.
Yeah, it's $5 to win on number 6 and a $1 double 6 with the 3-5. I don't have that there.
No, that's okay. I'll fix it right now. $1.
Okay. Anyway,
double 6 with the 3-5, you said?
Yeah, 3-5, 6 with the 3-5.
All right, there we go.
And she's won 2 races in a row and is going for a hat trick. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Her best start speed is fast among today's starters. Why is she so lucky? The 9 is my second choice, finishing the money in her last 6 races, won 3 of those, and may improve while returning to a route. Bunny Bonus, the 2, has won the last 2 starts and likes the distance. Then I like the 4, my long shot. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, can improve while returning to a route, and has a good 4 furlong workout. And as you said, $5 to win on the 6 and $1 exact is 6 over the 3-5. Or not right. Exact, a double.
Double, yes. I'm going to go a little different direction here, Terry, on top with the 7, Black Ice. This is a class dropper and a track dropper coming in off a win at Laurel for trainer Jamie Ness. And Jamie Ness, when he drops off of a win, wins at 47, damn near half the races, Terry.
Wow.
Number 6, Black Ice. Flash and Dynamite is my second choice. Your top pick, your pick of the day. Absolutely. If he's going to win and play out to Terry's best bet of the day status, it's it. 18 times out, 8 wins, 4 seconds. Going to be forward with this group. Bunny bonus, a Barry Meadows handicapping angle here for you folks. 3 consecutive speed figure increases in a row. That tends to win at 15% or more. Horses also won a couple of races in a row. So looking for Terry's fabled hat trick, and did have some better early pace last out. Finally, number 3, Ginedo. I am not a fan of Penn Shippers whatsoever at all. But this horse is going to make its 2024 debut, Terry, and you just cannot deny that those workouts are really sharp, the best of its career. Last race of the day. Tomorrow, of course, we'll be back to do Parx again. Wednesday and Thursday, we'll be doing the famous Keeneland Racecourse. So you're going to want to make sure you don't miss any of that. To make sure you don't miss any of our winning picks, Terry, what is the right thing to do?
You should subscribe to YouTube and hit that little bell to be notified whenever we've got programs coming up. Go down and copy the link and share it with all your friends, relatives, and everybody you know, so they can also come and take a look. Go to our social sites and at the horse race, the number 2 day, give us thumbs ups and likes, which will really help us out a lot.
So Don Johnson says he likes to keep his pick 4s around $25. Typically, when I go to the track, Don, I'm like you. I want to have a few horses as possible in my pick 4s because they can get expensive really, really fast. And anybody's been around horse racing long enough to know it's tough to win 4 races in a row, no matter how good the horses look or how great of a handicapper you may or may not be. Terry, let's talk a little bit about pick 4 construction. How do you go about putting your tickets together?
Well, I like to look and see if I can find something that can either 1 or 2 horses key a horse, or just use 2, and then I can spread out in the other races. But I love to do like if the first leg in a pick 4 is a maiden claiming, I love to go all in that race, and then try to get a couple of singles or a couple of horses in 2 different things. Really helps. That's how I've made my biggest wins, was by doing that.
Yeah, I like the similar thing. I look through all 4 races, and then I want to see which of those races I feel like is not necessarily where I think the best winner, I think is the most predictable, right? And then from there, work my way forward. And then I look to see like things like the maiden special weight dropper, some kind of class advantage that a horse might have over the rest of this field in here. And then if I think there is a pretty strong favorite, a lot of times, or like there's a strong favorite that looks very vulnerable, I like to look for those horses too and perhaps throw them out so that I can shrink my tickets a little bit too. And of course, at a place like Parx, if there's a horse that looks like it has a lot of early speed, maybe going to be overlooked, and they go wire to wire, that's a good chance too. So that's how I do it. And then I look through it. And then I look through, in other cases too, I kind of look backwards from that too, Terry. I want to see which races are the most difficult to handicap, because I know I'm going to need coverage in those races, more than probably so than picking a winner in some of the more predictable races. So I try to find coverage, try to find predictability, and then look for in-race advantages where I can maybe take a price horse and drop a horse that's not perhaps, well, one that's going to be highly favored by the bettors for sure. All right. In the last race, Terry, we got a bunch that want to be on the front, bunch that want to close, really nothing in the middle. 2, 7, 11, and 13 haven't been within 5 lengths of the leader. The 6 horse, Ali's Jersey Girl. A lot of Jersey girls floating around Philadelphia. Those horses, that one's making a first-time start. At the beginning of the race, Treasure Peace, along with Orb's Party Girl, Nora's Gamble. Plenty of horses in here, Terry, with a good shot to get forward in there. Our top total pace horse, Terry, in race number 11, favors a Philly Think, Chance Occurrence. Those 2 a little bit better than everybody else. Did we go through all the particulars in race 11? We didn't.
No.
So let's go ahead and talk about race number 11. Are we on race 11 or 10? Which one are we on even?
We're on 11.
All right. I got all confused with the pick 4 construction, but go ahead.
Well, I thought I already talked about that it's a 6 furlongs, but maybe I didn't. It's 6 furlongs. It's maiden claiming $10,000 and $19,000 purse for maidens, fillies, mare, and mares 3-year-olds and upward. So, and
also thank you to Kristen and Michelle and Rick Harper adding to Lori's thumbs up on Facebook. If you like what you see, please follow us, as Terry mentioned, on our social sites. If you're watching on Twitter, thank you. And then please retweet. If you're on Horse Racing Today, Radar TV on YouTube, kindly hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Twitter, kindly go over to our YouTube channel, Horse Racing Radar TV. If you Google Parx Racing Live, you'll probably find us as one of your top selections for videos. Kindly go over there and hit the subscribe button. Help us get over that 5,000 barrier. Did you know, Terry, that like only 10% of all YouTube channels get over 1,000 subscribers? So we need to get to 10,000. That's our next milestone.
Yeah.
6 furlongs does favor a lot of early speed in there, Terry. 35% of the time, wire to wire. There is a big rail bonus for Lady Gabrielle. The rest of the post positions 2 through 3 play fair. 4 and 7, a little bit of discount. 8 and out, almost fair, Terry. I already talked about the pace setup, so we'll kind of go in reverse order here. A little horse racing dyslexia. Big field here, Terry. Who's got the lead?
Well, the 4, 12, and 11 all show some speed, although the 4 has got the most. But it's anyone's guess who'll get that quarter pole first. 3 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 7 to 2, and the 9 has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 6 to 1. And then the 9 and the 3 have the only par plus numbers in here. All but the 8 show some kind of C zones.
Yeah, this race looks to me like it's just absolutely anybody's guess, Terry. Well, we did the pace setup already, so we might as well just move off to what everybody wants to see anyway. What are your picks?
All right, I like the 5 Chance Occurrence. She finished third versus Tougher in her last race. Drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance. Best third speed is fastest among today's starters. Marks off a lot of boxes. A Philly thing is the 3, my second choice, ran second in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer has won his last 3 races. Number 4, Treasure Piece is my third choice, ran second versus similar in her last race. Her early speed running style helps her chances to improve at this shorter and can improve at this shorter distance. Miss Opportunity, the 10 is my long shot, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. I'm out of money, so there's nothing that I can bet additionally than our regular bets.
Wide open. We both agree the 5 horse is the most logical one in here. Chance Occurrence going to drop in class. Some of the best workouts preparing. This is a 4-year-old facing a ton of 3-year-olds. That 1-year advantage, especially early in the new calendar year. Well, we're about midpoint, so advantage is starting to deteriorate, but still an edge. After this race is wide open, so I figured I'm going to go with a couple prices next up. I'm going to go with the 11, Norho's Gamble. Competed for the lead through the first half mile. So 4 of today's 6 furlongs stopped. That tells me maybe the horse bled. Today it's getting that first Lasix. Speed, first Lasix. This horse should be really ready to improve today. Number 7, Petite Pomme Fruité. I probably screwed that all up. The guy from France will let me know just how poorly I did. But I mentioned about an age gap in here. This one's 5-year-old. So really should have an advantage over the rest in terms of maturity. It is your betting favorite in here, Terry, in its debut. So the horse got backed by folks that like that horse, showed speed and then faded. I would have loved to have seen that Lasix angle in here, but I think it's second Lasix, and a lot of folks do like that second Lasix angle better than the first Lasix. Race number 2 could be the answer. And then, hey, it's Philadelphia. It's Parx Racing. You can't leave out it's a Philly thing, right?
No.
It's also a class dropper and the top par plus horse in the field. So I think I can make a case for maybe 3 more horses in this race, but I can only make it up to 4 because those are the rules, Terry, and we follow the rules.
Yeah.
Our full picks for today in the opening race, we both had the 11 horse on top. The 9 horse came home first in the second race, that maiden special weight dropper at 1-1 after getting bet down from 8-1 morning line. Here are our picks for the rest of today. So you can always find them right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. At the end of the show, we always go in and we bookmark or timestamp every single race so you can come back and you can watch each race specifically as they're about to go off and get, again, our insights and can add to it, subtract to it, take it for what it's worth. But just know we'll be back again to do it all over again tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel for Parx Racing. Terry, any final thoughts from you before we make our way out of here today?
Yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet for YouTube, please help us get to 5,000 subscribers by doing so. Hit the little bell to get notified if for any of our programs. Go down and copy the link and share it with all your friends. relatives, everybody. And then go to our social sites such as Facebook, X, Twitter, or not Twitter, X.
Yeah, X, Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
all of them. Everybody knows the routine by now,
All
right?
of them. At Horse Race, the number 2 day, and give us likes and thanks for
Don Johnson, appreciate the liking. Kristen, appreciate you watching. We really thank you for spending your time with us. As I've mentioned many times, it's the most precious commodity we have. It's something we all know is limited, and we're all going to run out of it at some point. So that you spend that time with us is greatly appreciated. The fact that you interact with us, we love that. The likes, all of that, we greatly, greatly appreciate it. We certainly hope that no matter what you're doing for the rest of this day, whether it be at Parx or our free track at Guaranteed Tip Sheet, the link down there below, kindly click on that. We hope it has God's grace, God's favor as you chase all your life's endeavors, and that no matter how fast you chase them, Terry, whether you're the turtle or the hare, you end up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow for Parx for Redo on Terrific Terry Tuesday.